because it's taking 18 weeks plus sometimes, especially if they're not sure about your business and they want to investigate all of that, to be able to acquire certificate of sponsorship. The problem you have is you've got very good workers. I'm sure everybody's happy with the workers that they have. They're looking to renew their contracts or not. And if you are, really, if you leave it too late, not only are you placing your business in a precarious position, but also the people that work for you. Because remember, if they're not able to extend their leave, then that has a potential impact on your business. So start planning now. I was saying to a client, starting to get people whose leave is expiring in March, you need to do that application now. I know there is a priority service, but I'm sure, as everybody knows in this room, 7 o'clock, and by 7 o'clock, you have to send out an email requesting that your certificate of sponsorships are prioritized. And that doesn't happen. Most of the cases, it doesn't. Sometimes it does, but in most of the cases, it doesn't. But you really, really don't want to put your business and your employers in a position their leave is expiring. Okay? So, right. And then, so this is what I was talking about. Start to inquire about the automatic course allocation. Also start to think about the manual course allocation. Right. Okay, I think I've spoken about that. Now, looking at post 22nd of July, what it now means when you want to assign a certificate of sponsorship. As you're aware, the government have made it very tough. They no longer want people who do very important work, to my mind, that actually nobody else wants to do. But these are the people that are being penalized. So you will start to see that they've moved away, and now you have to be a graduate in order to do some sort of jobs. I've got 6 minutes. I'm sure I'll be able to wrap up within that 6 minutes. But for our purposes, the people that we sponsor, the care workers and senior care workers, they have to now meet a transitional provision. It's nothing new, because I'm sure since July, you have had to familiarize yourself with that, because it is something that you now need to know before you can assign a certificate of sponsorship. So I'm hoping everybody, especially if you've been assigning since July, you are aware of what you need to satisfy. So there's now 2 additional requirements for care workers and senior care workers. The first one is around the immigration status requirement. So remember, I told you that you're no longer, when you're looking at a certificate of sponsorship, you're no longer just thinking about yourself. You, as a business, how to issue one, but to think about the person you're issuing a certificate of sponsorship to, right? So, and I think this is where people are getting slightly confused. Businesses are getting slightly confused around this additional requirement around somebody's immigration status. The key there is either, right? So they're either, or they have either been working for you legally as a care worker for a minimum period of 3 months before you have a certificate of sponsorship. Sometimes we get people that have not worked for 3 months and they've been assigned a certificate of sponsorship. That is very dangerous for your business, because it shows the Home Office you're not compliant. It's likely to generate a compliance audit on your part, because you don't seem to understand what the Home Office are asking you to do here. And then the next thing, and I think this is the one that really applies to everybody here, is where the person was already employed as a skilled worker, and they were already employed in 613 or 136 codes, then as long as they've continuously worked, that is somebody you can employ without them having worked for you for 3 months. Okay. So there's some slight confusion around that with people that I've spoken to. But it is important, if you just understand that distinction, then you should be okay. All right. So I think this is the slides are just kind of explaining a little bit more about that aspect of you being in a position. You must, if you have been employing somebody who you want to show they've been working for you for 3 months, please, you have to evidence that. Okay. So you have to evidence the 3 months. So either you have 3 months pay slip, you have an employment contract, you have some sort of evidence if you are audited by the Home Office that shows you have employed this person for 3 months. And then the other thing is, if they were a skilled worker who used to work on the 6136 or 6135 codes, you also have to have evidence of that. So you need to get their visa and ensure that those were the codes that they were working to. So unfortunately, this places a lot of burden on you as a sponsor. And we know you are already busy. But really, if you don't kind of do these things, you will potentially find yourself at the mercy of the Home Office and on an audit. Okay. Yeah. So if you are, my final statement on this, if you are thinking about requesting additional certificate of sponsorship, there is some information that the Home Office are requiring you work location where your person is going to work. If they're in England, you must be able to show that they're CQC registered. Oh, sorry, you are CQC registered. And there is now this type of information or a statement that you now need to include. That you need to now put on your certificate of sponsorship when you are. It's not very, very difficult, but it is. I think this is the time when, unfortunately, I know you don't like to pay us. I know you don't think, but I think with the way things are going with certificate of sponsorship being issued to you, I think it is in everybody's best interest to make sure you have somebody who's legally advising you, because I don't think as a business you can afford to lose your sponsorship license at the moment, because it's very difficult to get it back once you do. Okay. Thank you very much. I think I am okay, and I hope I haven't exceeded my time. I've got 14 seconds left. Okay. They've already clapped, so I must leave. Thank you very much, everybody. I will be available if anybody has questions and want to find out more about certificate of sponsorship. Thank you.
Shruti still had 23 seconds, just so you're aware. I'm very fair, but thank you for sticking to the time. I'm sure Shruti will be more than happy for me to share her slides to everybody who's registered, who's given us their details. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting, sorry. I hope this is better. Thank you. I had the pleasure of meeting a Mr. Tenga. I didn't know who he was, But speaking to him, I found that he was a very interesting gentleman. He has recently been voted Manager of the Year. He's very familiar with the industry, and I would not like to say much. I will leave him to come up and say a few things. Tinga.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me here. This is my first time attending the HSCPN. So I would like to thank the organizers for having me here. Should I just speak without the microphone? Is everyone okay with that? Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really honored. Remitly, thank you for encouraging me. I was very shy about coming here. We know in this industry, we focus on what we do. We care about people. We love our jobs, and the industry is very tough. If we talk about recruitment, we don't know where to find the carers. They are gold dust. And the work is there, but sometimes we don't know where to get it. We go for tenders, but then we try and the prices are shrinked and it's hard. We try to go to the private market, but we don't always know how to position ourselves. And each and every day, we have amazing people that represent. No matter what we do here as directors, as owners of businesses, when carers go into people's homes, or when you are supporting someone on a supported living, the brand is that person. So I feel very encouraged today to listen to Blue Healthcare for accountancy. You need those guys to help put your systems in place. To listen to Care Quality Support because they put your policies in place. To listen to immigration, you know, everybody tries to shy away from it, but that's so important. And all these things help build the amazing businesses that we do. I feel privileged to be honored as Excellence in Care Registered Manager of the Year, but the story about it began 5 years ago. In the middle of COVID, we didn't have a dom care company, we didn't have a supported living company, believe it or not. A few years later, it's a multi-million-pound business, and the only way we could do that was being able to tell our story, being able to train people in NVQs. We have people that have started as carers, now they're directors within our business, through NVQs, through sponsorship, through mentorship, because that's what matters. So I'm here to honor you all because you've been amazing as employers, but to encourage you to invest in your, because they are your brand. I'm here to advocate for the carer today. I'm a son of a carer, believe it or not. I grew up in care. My mom used to work 16 hours a day. I would drive her from one care home, and in that car, she would change at the back of the car to go to another home. So I grew up understanding the need for care. And I stand on his shoulders today. And what I do when I trained, I was a banker, I'm a trained accountant, but all those things that I did didn't mean much. What I wanted was to live an impactful life and do what my mother showed me to do. And that's why I advocate for the carers. And in everything that we do, we follow systems, we follow processes. We have become great at telling our stories. And believe it or not, when we do all these things, the business just comes. We are one of the biggest providers in Birmingham for private home care services. And a lot of people try and ask, what is our secret? We are very great at telling our story. And how we do that is through investment in our carers. When our carers walk into our client's home, they are the ones that advocate to them. We give them little things that support them and that allow them to then embellish our brand. The accolades that come later, sometimes me being honored, is through them. But in those 5 years, last year we won the British Care Awards, and we were nominated for 15 national awards throughout the country. And I know everybody goes for awards. What we've tried to do is make sure that any awards or accolades we go are on merit. And I'm encouraging everybody that is in here to listen to all these professionals and make sure that we keep doing what we're doing. The industry is only going to get bigger. I don't know how factual this is, so please don't fully quote me on this, but in adult social care, I read that by 2030, 1 in 5 adults will be over the age of 60. Who's going to care for them? So our businesses are only going to get bigger, and we are the luckiest people in here. But in order for us to be able to sustain that, continue to grow, is through this forum. So I feel honored, and I thank you for inviting me to just say a few words and to almost give a testimonial that I know most of you are already successful in here, but there are some that are on the journey. There are some that are struggling, are in the middle, and then they don't know how to grow their businesses. And I wanted to be a testimonial that all that is achievable if you follow the right processes, if you work with the right professionals, and if you network with amazing people and be part of these support networks. Is the only way you will grow. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm going to give you 5 minutes to try and sort out the mic. Guys, we've got some keys and copies in the back.